The story begins by showing a dense forest, where a man is running frantically, desperately trying to find a way out. But the forest is so thick that there seems to be no visible exit. He keeps moving forward by looking at the sun for direction, but as time passes, the sun begins to set, and darkness slowly takes over. Still, the man doesn't stop running. After a while, he reaches a spot where he sees a signboard that reads "Point of No Return." The board also has a number written on it, 108. Seeing this makes him even more anxious. As the darkness deepens, an eerie silence spreads across the forest. Suddenly, all the birds fly away at once, leaving the area in total stillness. The man has been running for miles, yet he hasn't seen a single animal anywhere. It feels as if even the wild animals are afraid of something hidden within this forest. Terrified, he starts running faster. After hours of struggle, he stops, only to find himself standing before the same 108 signboard that says "Point of No Return." He realizes he's been running in circles, there is no escape from this forest. Panicking, he starts looking for a place to hide, but there's none. So he climbs up a tree to stay safe. But the branch he's on snaps, and he falls from a great height, badly injuring himself. Before he can even recover, the ground begins to tremble, and strange growling sounds echo through the trees. Suddenly, something grabs him and drags him away. We don't see who or what it is, all we hear are the man's horrifying screams. 6 days later, the scene shifts to the city. We meet Mina, a young woman who works in a bird shop. Her boss asks her to deliver a golden parrot to a zoo far outside the city. Mina agrees and sets off in her car, using her phone's GPS for directions. As she drives out of the city, she passes a large board covered with missing persons posters, photos of people who have mysteriously vanished in that same area. Ignoring it, she continues her journey and decides to take a shortcut through a forest to save time. Unknowingly, she enters the very same forest where the man had disappeared. Deep inside, her phone loses signal, and even her car's radio stops working. Confused and scared, she tries to turn back, but she can't find her way out. A few minutes later, her car breaks down completely. She steps out, and right in front of her, she sees the same signboard that says "Point of No Return, 108. Holding the parrot's cage, Mina starts walking in search of help, but there's no one around. When she returns, her car is gone. Shocked, she looks around, thinking maybe she came back to the wrong spot, but every part of the forest looks exactly the same. Darkness falls again. Just like before, all the birds fly away at once, and the ground begins to shake. Mina feels a presence nearby. She catches a glimpse of a shadowy figure in the distance and runs after it, but when she gets there, it's gone. Then suddenly, she spots an old woman running through the woods. Mina chases her, pleading for help, but the woman doesn't stop. Then, at last, the old woman turns around, opens the door to a large wooden cabin, and shouts, "If you want to live, get inside now." Without hesitation, Mina rushes in, and the woman locks the door behind her. Inside, Mina sees a strange room with a huge mirror on one wall. Along with the old woman, there are 2 other people, a girl named Kiara and a man named Daniel. The old woman introduces herself as Madeline and tells Mina, "There's no time to talk. Stand in front of the mirror. They're coming to see us." "Who's coming?" Mina asks nervously, but Madeline doesn't answer. Suddenly, strange noises begin echoing outside. Kiara whispers, "They're called the Watchers. They watch us through the mirror every night after sunset. We can't see them, but they can see us." As the sounds grow louder, the mirror begins to vibrate, as if something unseen is on the other side. Madeline explains, "They're clapping. They're happy because you're here." Mina, frightened and confused, doesn't understand what's happening. When morning comes, the noises vanish. Madeline tells her, they only come out at night. During the day, it's safe. Mina wants to escape immediately, but Madeline warns her, there's no way out. This forest is a trap. Before sunset, you must return to this house, or you'll die. Mina refuses to believe her and heads out again, holding the parrot. She follows the sun, trying to find her way out, but once again, she ends up at the point of no return sign. Defeated, she sits down on a cliff and cries. Suddenly, someone places a hand on her shoulder. It's Madeline again. She gently says, "You're not the first to try. We all did. This forest hunts those who enter. Stay with us if you want to live." Madeline takes her deeper into the woods and shows her dozens of point-of-no-return signs surrounding the area in a perfect circular pattern. "These signs mark the border," she says. "If you go beyond them, you'll never come back." When Mina asks who built them, Madeline replies, "A professor. But no one has ever seen him." That night, the Watchers return. The group must stand facing the mirror. They're not allowed to turn their backs to it. If they do, the Watchers become furious. Mina accidentally breaks this rule, and the mirror starts shaking violently as if something is trying to break through. Madeline yells, "Face the mirror," and only then does the shaking stop. Days pass. Mina learns that during the day, the Watchers hide in deep pits, unable to come out because sunlight burns their skin. But one day, Mina convinces Daniel to lower her into one of the pits using a rope. Down there, she finds human belongings, cameras, clothes, jewelry, from people who went missing. She realizes these pits are the Watchers' lairs. Later, they connect a found camera to a TV and actually see something moving in the footage, distorted, human-like shapes watching them. That night, someone knocks on their door, calling out in Kiara's husband's voice. But Madeline warns, that's not him. When Kiara tests the voice by asking a personal question, the man outside fails to answer, revealing it's a Watcher imitating him. The creature breaks the camera in rage. The mirror begins cracking as they bang from the other side. The group barely survives the night. Eventually, Mina and the others discover a hidden bunker beneath the cabin, filled with food, computers, and research notes. The computer reveals the truth. This place was created by Professor Martin, who once captured a fairy-like creature from the pits. He called them the Watchers. Centuries ago, these beings were fairies, magical winged creatures who lived peacefully with humans, until humans grew afraid of their powers and imprisoned them underground. Trapped for centuries, they lost their wings, their magic, and their beauty. Now, deformed and enraged, they come out only at night, mimicking human forms to survive sunlight and rejoin the world. The professor's final video reveals that one fairy had perfectly copied a human child's form, fooling even him. Before taking his own life, he left a message. "If anyone finds this, follow the direction where the birds fly at sunset. That's the only way out." The video ends with 2 gunshots, leaving Mina and the others in horrified silence, realizing the professor is gone, and the Watchers are coming again. Would you like me to continue and finish this English version into a full cinematic story narration style, like a movie script or horror story voiceover? That night, they were all very happy because they had finally found a way out. When they stepped outside, they saw that the witches had destroyed their room. They had to leave that place because they no longer had anywhere to stay. They couldn't wait until nightfall, so they released their bird and began to follow it. Along the way, they came across a grave. Madeline looked at it and said that these beings once lived among humans, but humans betrayed them terribly. After walking for a while, they reached a river, where they found the professor's boat. Seeing it made them very happy, but their happiness didn't last long, because darkness had already fallen. It was time for the Watcheries to arrive. Before that happened, they sat in the boat and rowed away. From behind them came a voice. It was Kiara's husband. He was in very bad shape, crying out for help. Danian went to help him, but he, too, was a Watchery. He killed Danian. After that they began to move away. They knew they couldn't stay by the river. Finally those people crossed the river and reached the city. The real trouble began after that. Everyone scattered and went their separate ways. Some time later, following what the professor had said, I went to his university to delete his data. Before I could, she had already deleted his files. He found a tape recorder. From that tape recorder I discovered another secret. Many years ago, when they used to live together, they had married, and the children born then were half human and half watchery. They knew how to take human form. The professor thought that even if we locked them away in the forest, they could still come to the city in human form, and that they still exist today. When I searched around different places, I found some pictures of the professor with a woman. It turned out that the woman was Madeline, and she was the professor's wife, who had died a long time ago. I told all this to Kiara. Madeline had died of cancer, but Kiara didn't ask who the woman with us was. I told her she was also a Ferris, a shapeshifter. In human form, the professor became very sad after his wife's death. He then learned about the Ferris who could change form, so he succeeded in bringing one Ferris in the appearance of a young girl. Now we had to return her to the forest. Then a car arrived, and in fact the woman standing in front of Kiara was Madeline. When Kiara went inside, Madeline rendered her unconscious. I asked Madeline what she wanted. Madeline said, "You humans are always deceitful." At the professor's instruction, I had taken her form as his wife, but she wanted to kill me. Then I asked her whether she had ever asked the professor why she could come out during the day, since she was half human and half Ferris. After hearing the truth, she left me and went away. A few weeks later, the scene shows that I begin living with my sister. She eats with me. I feel like these Ferris still haven't stopped chasing me. My sister tells me not to be afraid, that nothing will happen. Then we see a little girl standing, and she is none other than Madeline in human form, and the story ends there. If you liked the story, subscribe to the channel and like the video.